Good morning, beloveds. It is wet out there. It wasn't quite raining when we actually went out, but we were coming around the curve on the big loop, and it started to rain. So we cut back down to short loop and came home because there was no direct route home. So we both got a good soaking. Yeah. All right. It is November 30th. We are at the end of November. Tomorrow is the beginning of December. So our title is Guidelines to Personal Prosperity, and our author is Elizabeth Carrick-Cook. This was published in The Science of Mind in 1981. So, Guidelines to Personal Prosperity. In matters of truth, we are all like small children in school who are learning to read. And just as such learning requires books, with big print and exaggerated space between the lines, our study of truth may demand that the essentials be presented with great simplicity and special clarity. Here, then, are 10 basic points which are intended to impact clearly on our consciousness and register solidly in the undercurrent of our thought. Point 1. We must look only to God for our success. Point 2. We must make no pictures of limitation or lack. Point 3. We must not speak the language of limitation. Point 4. We must let go of all personal will and let God work in our affairs. Point 5. There is an honor with which we should deal with God and what God sends us. Point 6. We must keep our money circulating intelligently. Point 7. Spending or passing on your money with good sense of valuation will always bring back results to you. Point 8. We should never strive to get something for nothing. Point 9. Never talk down success by saying that you are limited or that you have been spending too much, or by belittling your success to others. Point 10. Do not compare yourself with someone else or permit yourself in any way to envy your neighbor's success, for their individual use of the law is different from yours. I'm going to close the book, set that down, and think about that for a minute, because she just kind of laid it out there, and she spoke in plain English. And it's interesting because I thoroughly enjoy the Philosophy Fridays. And so I fully intend, I completely forgot last week, but I came home, he came home from, it was a whole thing. It was a busy day. But that's one of the things that because like last week he didn't have a topic, but this week he's got thoughts, and he's got thoughts on limitations. And so and she addresses limitations in there. And that's, and when it comes to limitations, I'm reminded of, and the quote's attributed to Henry Ford, but I don't know if it actually is. It's like a bee, according to science, and this is how you know science doesn't know everything, right? According to science, bees, like honeybees, should not be able to fly. And yet the bees don't know that. And so they make a little honey every day, right? And so when we say we can't, we're right. And when we say we can, we're right. And so why should we talk to ourselves in the language of limitation? Because every time you say you can, then, you're telling the universe that you can't. And the universe is going to agree with you, because the universe can't do anything other than agree with you. There's no personality to the universe where the universe will sit back and laugh and go, no, you're wrong. It's not the way the universe works. So it does behoove us to not talk in the language of limitation. And that's, and so many times you hear people do that. There was another one. I mean, obviously her first point, look, that's the whole concept of pray up. There was another one that, where she said, there is an honor with which we should deal with God and what God sends us. We have all of these gifts, and yet we don't always honor our gifts. It's like those talents that you have are gifts. What you do with them is your gift back to God. And that's one of the things that always jumps out at me. I like that she says we must keep our money circulating intelligently. And then she follows it up by, don't try and get something for nothing. Because stagnation is a real thing, as is reciprocity. And so you always want your money moving. You always want your money moving, but you always want everything else to kind of move, because when nothing is moving, everything stagnates, including ideas. And so it's but you want to do it wisely. You don't want to go out and spend money just to spend money. That's one of the things why there's this big push to support small businesses. Because when you support small businesses, then, you're sending children to camp, and you're paying for dance lessons, and you're paying, as opposed to when you support big corporations. I mean, I'll straight up name one, the one that starts with an A, and, you're paying for vanity space flights, and what good is coming out of that? So that's one of those things where can you make a choice? Can you make a choice to support small businesses, or even, and sometimes there are, like, one of my favorite things to do. I love books. And I love going to bookstores, but I don't have a whole lot of time to go to bookstores. So I occasionally will shop online for books. Well, I found a website. It's called abebooks.com. What they are is they are not a bookstore, but they are an interconnecting website of small independent bookstores. So so that is me intelligently, spending my money, because I'm supporting small businesses. I'm frequently buying used books, so they're not necessarily, so I'm giving new life to old books. And so there are ways that you can do this. And now I do say I'm a big believer in supporting small businesses, because I work for one. The little health food store that I work in, we are a small business. We have one location. Interestingly, we ship to a lot of different states now. Because one of our companies, when people call them to place orders, they don't do that. So they send them to us, which is very helpful. So, so we are constantly circulating, and we are intelligently circulating, and we are honoring, we're honoring our gifts and talents. So, and yeah, do not try and get something for nothing. Well, that makes sense. Okay. Never talk down success by saying that you are limited, or that you have been spending too much, or belittling your success. Okay. That's a super important one that should not be overlooked, because too frequently we will say, we will try and not take credit for what we have done. There's a difference between being humble and this, okay? I didn't do it by myself, but I did contribute. Or if you did it by yourself, there's that too. And then that last one, do not compare yourself to others. So we all use the same law, but we all use it differently. We all have different consciousness. We all have different needs. We all have different wants. Comparing ourselves to others is never going to get us anywhere. So that was really incredible. I might have to pull that out and use that for a talk someday. Prosperity. Yeah. And I appreciate that she laid it out point by point in plain English. So I commend to you, what was her name? Elizabeth Carrick-Cook. Yep. So, and I would also remind you, if you go to the Science of Mind archives, I'm not sure if the project is finished. I guess I should contact Kathy and ask, and find out if they finished, upload, because they did a huge fundraiser to have the money to upload all of the old Science of Mind so that they will be digitally available. So you could go back and find the article that was from. All right. That is, and then I'm going to use the last point as the mission. The mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to not compare ourselves to others in any way, because our use of the law, it's the same law, but our use is going to be different. So, don't compare yourself to others. It just leads to a whole lot of lack and limitation. So let's not do that. All right. The other mission is the same mission I give you every day, which is to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself, whatever that looks like. For me, it was trying to rain, but I still got up and went and did that walk. Did I get wet? Yes, but it's 60 degrees out there. So it's not like I got cold, right? I just got damp. I knew, but I still wanted to do it. And it was the most loving, kind, and compassionate thing I could do for myself, is to get my joints up and moving this morning. It could be a fairly nasty day with the weather, but I got most of my walk in, and I'm happy about that. So, and whatever it is that is loving, kind, and compassionate for you. I say take a walk, take a nap, take a break. Most of that is the human equivalent of turning yourself off and turning yourself on. When you come up against that wall, that's what you can do. Just take a break. Take a walk, take a nap, take a break. But I also like to remind you, one of the most loving, kind, and compassionate things you can do is to be aware of how you are talking to yourself. Take that deep breath before you speak to yourself or others. She had a couple of points. Don't compare yourself to others. Don't try and get something for nothing. Make sure that you're doing things intelligently. All of that is loving, kind, and compassionate for yourself and others. So, there's a lot in there. Why do I talk about love, kindness, and compassion? Why do I encourage you to practice every day? My goal is that eventually everything you do is loving, kind, and compassionate for yourself and others. That's our base nature. Our base nature is love. And by practicing love, kindness, and compassion on ourselves, we bring that back to the forefront and peel back the layers of everything that we have put on ourselves, that other people have put on ourselves, and go back to being the beloved children of God that we are, to get to know who that is. That's one of the reasons why I say eat dessert first. Why not? Who is it that told us that we had to eat food in a certain order? Yes, there's a logic to it. Maybe we don't need to eat dessert with every meal, but occasionally we can eat dessert first. And besides, chocolate's the first step to fixing anything. And I also realize that when I say eat dessert first, what I am reminding myself, and hopefully you, is to not save the good stuff. Too often we save things for a special occasion, and then either the special occasion never comes, or by the time we're ready to use it, whatever it is that we're saving isn't good anymore. So you know what? Don't wait for a special occasion. Make the occasion special. Or go out of your way to make the ordinary extraordinary. Okay? Your life is a special occasion. Please treat it as such. And then just because it's been all kinds of crazy in the last few years, I want to remind you that joy is a quality of God. Therefore, joy is a quality of you. Therefore, no matter what is going on in the world, no matter what is going on in your life, you still deserve joy. I encourage you thoroughly to make room for joy. Please make room for joy. All right, beloved. Our beloveds, the rest of the suggestions are the same basic, easy suggestions. Do something to engage your mind and your body, whatever that looks like for you. Drink plenty of water. Hydration is super important. Your brain works better. Your body works better. Your skin looks better when you are well hydrated. And get that early in your day bright light. Now, obviously, if it's raining today and going to rain all day, I'm using artificial light to get myself going. And I happened to watch an old one. They were talking about sleep. Early in your day, bright light will help to wake you up and get you going, and then you will sleep better at night. So a quality night's sleep starts with bright light in your morning, you know? And when I say sunlight, I mean 5 to 10 minutes. That's all it takes. And 5 to 10 minutes of bright light that's all it takes. If you want the vitamin D, sunlight is better. But if you need support, a little extra support than your regular household light is giving you, then you can Google sun lamps or seasonal affect disorder lights. They have the right wavelength to support that natural circadian rhythm. So there are resources out there. If you need them, please avail yourself of them. All right. I meant my Ernest Holmes quote, open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you that you do live in heaven right here, right now. It is all around us all the time. What does that mean? It's all God. It means two things. One, everywhere we look, it is God. Everything is made out of God. God made everything out of God's self. It's God. It's all God's substance. The other thing is it's a reminder that heaven is a state of mind. It's a state of consciousness. It is not a physical place that we have to get to, but can become any place we are when we learn to create that mindset. You know those people that walk around that you see that are happy? Well, they've learned how to create that mindset. Feel free to ask them what their secret is. You never know what you might learn. You know, because happy people generally want to share. It's like happy people want everybody to be happy. Ask them what their secret is. See what it is. You know, it could be something as simple as eating dessert first. Or it could be, you know, a whole list of things. My cousin Karen actually posted a list of things to do when you're feeling depressed. And this is the time of year for it, you know, that season, the holiday season can be hard on people for a variety of reasons. But two, it's also because we get a little lost daylight, you know, and so in one of her lists was cuddle with your pets, which, you know, I'm a big believer of. It call somebody that, you know, cares about you. And then cook food, even if it's something as simple as just, you know, ramen, because cooked food tastes better. And so those are all amazing things that we can do to create that heavenly mindset, even when we don't feel like it. So, and you can always take Emma Curtis Hopkins' advice, look for the good and praise it. Okay. Which is a fancy way of saying, or not even a fancy way of saying, it's just another way of saying count your blessings. And you know me, I'm a big believer in looking for the little goods. I'll quote Gandalf at you. You know, it's the small ordinary acts of everyday people that hold back the darkness. It's the little goods that are in our life that add up to the big goods. So I encourage you to take a look. There's far more good in your life than you're probably aware of. And the more aware of it you are, the more you appreciate it, the more you'll see. So, and science also shows gratitude, random acts of kindness, and volunteer service are three of the best ways to absolutely change your mood. So, all right. I'm at the social media part. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. I'm the running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. I commend them to you. There are hours of content on the YouTube pages. There are hours of content on the Facebook pages. I mean, you can just go look. David and I are on the Creative Life Spiritual Center YouTube page twice a day. Each of us is on once a day. So, you know, you get fresh videos, hours of content. Just go check it out. All right. Yep. I think I will remind you about the email. We are email info@creativelife.org. That will get you on the constant contact. It's done by a real person. It's 1 email a month unless something unusual happens, or 1 email a week, sorry, unless something unusual happens. So feel free to check it out. Okay. Yep. I think now I'm done. So I get to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonder-filled day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a wear a raincoat day, a don't forget your umbrella day, a dance in the rain day, a enjoy the thunderstorms day, a get stuff done day, a cuddle a fur baby day, a talk to a friend day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough, just as you are. You are a beloved child of God. You are a brilliant light, a divine spark. You are spirit in motion. You are God in action. Or as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are a godling. All right? I encourage you to know the truth of your being. I encourage you to make regular trips to the source of your being. And I encourage you to peel back the layers of everything that you have been told you are by society, by gender, by religion, by culture, by people that know you, by people that don't know you, by TV commentators, by magazine ads. Just peel all of that back and get to know who God knows you to be. Because I can promise you that the person that God knows you to be is good and probably pretty cool. So get to know that person. All right, beloveds. Reverend David will be on around 5 p.m. with you. I will be back with you around 9 a.m. tomorrow. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved. And I will see you next time.